Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. It's the brother Tazamak from the Great Millstone Austin branch. And today's lesson, Lord willing, is edifying. I wanted to go into Esau Edom, okay, because we got various scriptures that go against Esau Edom, okay, for having this hatred towards their brother, okay, which Esau Edom is a self-proclaimed white man, okay, according to the scriptures, he is the wicked, okay. This goes back to Jacob and Esau, okay. This goes back to Genesis, all right. What we've been seeing throughout history, okay, that perpetual hatred, as stated in Ezekiel. Let's start off with that. Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Well, we'll start off in verse 1. It reads, "Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." Okay, so Esau Edom is being condemned, okay? Ezekiel's condemning Esau Edom because he has a perpetual hatred against the children of Israel, okay? The nation of Israel, the Israelites, which consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, this is who Jacob refers to, the Israelites, the children of Israel. All right, as we're going to read more scriptures when it is referring to Esau, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, this is what it's referring to. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because throughout history, we could see that there has been a perpetual hatred by a specific race towards the Israelites. Okay, but let's go back to Genesis 27 and verse I want to get to verse 41. Okay, because going into Esau and Jacob, they're twin brothers, two nations separated by birth. Okay, this is Genesis 25. We're going to get a little bit of that, going back to where it started. Genesis 25 and verse 21. "And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger." So Isaac, our forefather, okay, his wife Rebekah conceived twins, And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, two manner of people. One shall be stronger than the other. The elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. So, like I mentioned earlier, this goes back to the womb, man. Our twin brother Esau, our evil twin brother Esau, all right, which the scriptures describe him as a red. Verse 25, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Okay, and just get to that point that Esau and Jacob are twin brothers. Okay. And back to where I was at in Genesis 27. After Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau, okay, Esau was blessed with the sword, Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto Esau, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Here's a point, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. You see, so this goes back to the ancient times. Esau has always had that hatred towards towards the so-called, towards Jacob, right, our forefather. But the scriptures tell you that he has a perpetual hatred towards the Israelites. Okay, Genesis 36 and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. All right, so Esau, the self-proclaimed white man, dwelled in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Now, Edom goes back to the Hebrew word Adawam, all right, which just means red. Okay, the elder twin brother of Jacob, the Edomites. All right. Yeah, you see red. Okay, Adawam, to show blood. All right. Because that's when it said Esau was red, it's because you could see through his skin. You could see the blood through his skin because he had no pigmentation. All right. Now this is Mount Seir. Petra, known as today Petra. But this is where it says Esau dwelt in Mount Seir, for Esau is Edom. This is where the Edomites were dwelling. Okay, looks very familiar to certain structures going back in time. Resembles certain buildings. All right, because this is they pay homage to Mount Seir, the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white people. That's why when you go, okay, here it is, Edomite kingdoms, you'll see the structure as Mount Seir, because it's the same people. That's why in Obadiah, it tells you the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen, Salakia, arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Okay, that was Mount Seir, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? But when you jump down to verse 10, I believe, yep, it tells you, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right. We read here in Ezekiel 35 that he has a perpetual hatred. Obadiah, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You see? Now you go to Amos chapter 1 and verse 11, it tells you almost the same thing. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, which we know Edom is the nation of the Edomites, all right, the self-proclaimed white people, which means red. I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, his blessing, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Now there's different, you can go into history, the lynchings, all right, that wrath, that perpetual hatred. You see, I was just scrolling down, you know, and you can see all these accounts, man, all the receipts that we have against Esau Edom. That's how we know this is the man that has that perpetual hatred. Who's shown that hatred? You see, the indigenous, the so-called Native Americans who committed a genocide against them. The colonizers, the Edomites, man. Okay, talk about a Holocaust, a genocide of the so-called Native Americans. But that all goes back to the scriptures. All right, but the scriptures say that, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. You see, so this man, we got the receipts. Look on a Google AI overview, just to go into the wrath, and it says these lynchings were a form of racial terror intended to maintain white supremacy and enforce racial subordination and segregation. White mobs often use fabricated criminal accusations. Okay, basically it goes into black landowners, entrepreneurs, and professionals who challenged the racial hierarchy or sought economic independence were often targeted for lynchings. Lynchings were violent public acts that involved various forms of brutality, including torture, mutilation, decapitation, and desecration, all right, often culminating in the victim being hanged, shot, even, or burned alive. You see? So this America, Babylon the Great, was founded off the blood of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, of that perpetual hatred. I'm going to end it with Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So Esau Edom, his blood is going to be shed. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Thus say the scriptures, man. Okay, I'm going to jump down to Ezekiel 35 and verse 15. I'm going to end it with this one. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So the Lord is ultimately going to put away Esau Edom because of that wrath, that perpetual hatred that he's had. You know, who else has had who has committed, Salakia, these atrocities to the Israelites, man, but the nation of Edom. All right, so, you know, like I said, I wanted to go into Edom and that perpetual hatred. Lord willing, this was edifying. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. Until the next one, Shalom.